Okay, YouTube, I got a video for you. Now, this video is based upon breaking a bolt and actually twisting the head off a bolt, or in other words, twisting a spark plug off in a V4 98 Katana 750. This bike, I bought this bike for 500 bucks. It came really messy. I mean, this thing is pretty cruddy. The guys I bought it from, they never looked at it. They buy it from the auction. Sometimes they fix them up, sometimes they don't. Well, this one seems that the motor seized and it was taking out the spark plugs, and I got to the number four spark plug here, and it was hard from the get-go. It wasn't spinning. You know how a bolt is tight, then it loosens, then it spins, then it comes out. This bolt just stayed tight the whole time. I kept turning it, and because I had to go in here at an angle, I'll give you an example. Because the number four piston is blocked by that wire, and the frame, you know, when you get in there, they really want your ratchet to be really perpendicular with the spark plug, and if you don't, you can run the chance of twisting the spark plug off and leaving the threads into the head. So sure enough, I broke this spark plug. Could you imagine how I felt when this part just came out of my socket? I freaked. I tried everything I could. I have the, what do they call it? The easy out? What do you call that? I'm gonna put that. I'm so quick to organize things. Oh, look right here, my face. So I thought, well, I will go with this and try and knock out some of the porcelain and the tungsten in between, because the spark plug is surrounded by aluminum with porcelain and then tungsten in the core. And the guy says tungsten is the hardest metal out there. I tried to break the tip of the spark plug out. That didn't work. I tried to put this on the end of an extension that had two screws at the end. Where is that? Oh, I know where I put it. I tried that to put the I guess you call it the tap or the easy out or whatever you call these things, to put that in there to screw out the porcelain. That didn't work. I put the nail punch, tried to break that up. Then I put a little tiny dent right in the corner of that, and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna bend something on the aluminum head. So I backed and stopped that. So then I had these from trying to get a bolt out of a manifold on a Ford Escort. Now this little thing here, if you can see, they got little lobes on it, and if you twist the head off of a bolt, say like one of these, whoops, here, I'll show you that one. If you twist that head off, this puppy here works in reverse, and you can get that onto the thread here, and use a reverse, and it will back that bolt out. Well, I did that, and I stuck this on the end of an extension. So in order for me to bypass all the frame and everything, this is my concoction. Okay, so check that out. That is the actual, let's see if I can get focus. That is the actual spark plug with the bolt grip, and I just caught the threads right there. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to clear the threads out because some of these threads were left in the head, as you can see. I don't know if it's gonna see those flat spots, so I'm gonna have to go back through there with a threader, and I have one of those. Hopefully I got the right size. But check how long this thing is. And I had to, well, it's not that long. I had to use my breaker bar so I can get enough torque on this bolt. And I sprayed PB Blaster. Now I'm not trying to give them some free publicity, but you know what? That shit works. So, and in the previous videos on YouTube, everyone says pour PB Blaster in the spark plug holes. So I'm gonna try to free up this motor. And so my next step, once I got the air filter off, and I think what I'm going to try to do is, because my gas can has rust in it, I'm going to set up a little water bottle with gas, bypass, and go to the filter into the carbs. But problem is, the carbs are frozen. So I have to take those off and unfreeze those before I can get it started. So I guess either that would be my next job, or when I bought the bike, it didn't come with keys. So I bought one of those cheap Chinese ignition tank key and cap, and it came with also the seat latch key, sort of say. So my next step would be either to attack the carburetors or put in the ignition. And also, someone broke the choke off on there, so I'm going to need to adjust for that. So I got a couple of things I got to deal with. I've already gotten the master cylinder drained out. I still have to drain this one. And then I'm going to have to go in and bench bleed or find out where it's sticking in here. This is probably full of crud, and it's just parts aren't sliding. That little plunger that moves in there, that assists the brake fluid down to collapse the brake caliper. Looks like the slide in here is seized up. And I believe the same thing is happening for the caliper in the back. This one doesn't seem to be moving either. As you can see right in there, that's the caliper. And you know, I'm trying to move this thing, but this is all I can get out of it. And needless to say, that hose doesn't have I took the caliper out, so there shouldn't be anything holding that up. So that's definitely gummed up. So next step is either the carburetor or the ignition. And you know, I think the carburetor is the most accessible. Plus, I want to PB blast the carburetors, go through them, see if there's any clogs in them before I try to start it, because if there was rust or anything that was running through the system before, I want to catch those now before I try to start it for the first time. While I have all this open, there's no point in trying to start it if you're not going to check it while it's open, because then you'll just have to pull it all back apart again. And trust me, I'm really not into doing things twice. Thanks, guys. I will send a part 2.